Okay, everybody, we're back for the second little snippet. Now, obviously, it looks like I'm looking off into heaven. Hope you're headed there too. See how I integrate faith and learning? I am but a Zoom ninja. Look at that. Isn't that dramatic? You don't pay for this. Nonetheless, we're going to look at chapter 10 and continue on. We had worked with some of the SQL in chapter 10 in the Patrick text. There it is. And again, in the text, we're using role functions and some of the more specialized role functions. And we had done the text, we'd done 10.4, where basically we show the effects of automatic data type conversion. And this is, I'm just reading this verbatim, perform arithmetic on numbers that are in columns of the data with a text data type. So we have a set of numbers, but they're treated like text, okay? And by doing that, we can get some interesting results. And again, you can see on page 370, the results set. Now, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share my screen, the desktop. I'm going to try to. And I guess I need to press share screen. There's the desktop. There I am. You can see me up there. Isn't that cool? Look at me floating around. Woo-wee! Isn't that fun? That's amazing, isn't it? Anyway, this was 10. I'll scroll down here for a minute. This is 10.4. Here's that code I was talking about. It's over there on page 370 in the text. And you'll notice as you look there, we're going to select a primary key and then text 1 and text 2, and then text 1 plus text 2 as a text add. And those as's, of course, are the column alias that we're using. And then you can see the results set. We have in row A, we had 8 and a 4, and then row B, this is the beginning table, 33 and 11. And then you'll notice the result table in Access, the addition is incorrect, okay? And notice this. When we do the text add, instead of 12, we get 84. So that's not accurate. And then we get the text subtract, that works, the text multiply, the text divide, but the text add does not. So there's a correction at the top of page 371, and it's important to see that. Now look, again, a lot of this is table design, and queries will be driven to a great extent by how well we design a table. So a lot of this putzing around with this example they give us on 370, and then the correction at the top of 371 really is a lot of work. If we design the text, if we design the table, excuse me, in the first place, we won't have to worry about it. And that is, if it's a number, make it a number. If it's text, make it a text, okay? And you saw, as we went through in chapter 9, all the issues that we run into when we deal with, when we deal with trying to format dates. And remember, a date is a strange little critter. It's a combination of text and numbers, but actually it's stored in the machine as a number. I talked about that when they had the business about the millennium bug, all that stuff. You can go read about that and learn about it. Nonetheless, at the top of page 371 is a correction, and I'm going to give the access correction. And I'll highlight it right now. And there we go. I'll open up my SQL. SQL fun. SQL fun. Isn't this wonderful? So I'm going to be doing snippets because to process this when I save it to the cloud, it takes about 2 to 3 times the length of the file of the amount of time I record. So if I record 2 hours, it's 6 hours for the thing to process. And so that's okay, because I'll record it and then I'll send you. I've already sent you one link, and as I can tell, I've had a couple of other people check to see it. It seems to work, and I also given you a pass key. Well, here's the code, and again, now here's the correction, and I'm going to just pop the text file up so you can see it. Now listen, also, if you'll look and see, remember, this thing plays like a video. And if you look, I believe in the bottom right-hand corner of your recording, you can go to full screen with this so you can see everything. Or, of course, you can go up into your browser and ramp it up. If it's not at the magnification that you want. And let me say this also. If you're trying to look at this and see this on your phone, get a life. This is really, you ought to be looking at a screen, okay? Now, I realize you might have a screen, you might just have your phone, you might have a small laptop, pardon me, a tablet. I get it, okay? But frankly, you know, access it where you've got a good computer screen, you can see what's going on. Now, again, the code is there at Moodle. You can go get it. You can go download, fun. As I said to you, I'm not going to bang you on the head about having these all turned in, blah, blah, blah. Okay? We'll do what we can do to float through them. As you remember, as I've said to you many times in the course, there is that course schedule, which is actually the code, the queries in every chapter that I think you want to take a look at so that you can do the following. Okay? You can, first of all, you can look at have your text open and look at the business problem. For example, the task, like at the top of 370. 2, you can look at the beginning and ending tables. That's the start and the end after you run the query. 3, run the query. Think about what you're running as we talk through this. And 4, run it. And 5, see, 5, isn't that beautiful? Run the query and see the results you set. So we're going to do that. Now we've got that pasted in, and we're going to go run, little buddy, run. And there it is. Now this time we made the correction. And what's the difference? Well, let's look at that and see. If you'll notice something right here is the CINT function. And what that means is we're going to convert that text to an integer. And one of them, our integers, is, as they call it, a number. It's a number. It's a bad number. It's a good number. But it's an integer. Okay? Now, I'm having fun here, as I do in class, so, you know, get a life. But get some pretty good instruction. And so we selected the primary key, but our correction this time is we treated text 1 and text 2, that data, as the text that's in the as text. That's the as text add. That's the column alias where we added the text. We used the integer. We converted to an integer. Magnificent, isn't it? Now it's interesting because it can handle subtraction, it can handle multiplication and division, but it can't handle addition, which is a strange thing. And if you want kind of an explanation there, you can see that they're on page 371, and they give you just, you know, they give you information about the CINT integer, about that function. Okay. And this is also, you know, as they show you to sun and sunflower, when I concatenate, and we have to use the CINT because of the concatenation function. So if the machine sees text and we add, it says, oh, concatenate. If we convert it to a number, it says, oh, perform addition. Like I've said before, you're going to hear it. The machine will do only what you tell it to do. Nothing more, nothing less. Okay, and yet another lesson. Well, that's 10 number 4, and we're going to save that. I'm going to save that query. It's 10-4. I'm going to call it, I think I'm going to call it 10-4 correction. Okay. I don't care whether you like that or not. That's what I'm going to do. And this is fun. And of course, you can see me here in my magnificent office. I should turn this around so you can see the pictures with Billy Graham and the Pope and, you know, various people. Me and Obama. You got to come to my office. If you haven't come to my office, it's a fun place. I have a kegger on Thursday afternoons. That's not true. That's a lie. That is a lie. But what is true, I have some interesting stuff you can come and see, and I'd love to have you come see me. Yes. Anybody's welcome to any time. Now, over on page 372 and 373, 374, 375, 376, they walk you through what I think is one of the most frustrating and mind-numbing experiences in Access. And my friends, that is using the expression builder. I think your brain works much better, and I found the expression builder to be a clumsy, awful, difficult thing to work with. So I don't use it, okay? Look, if I've got heavy lifting to do numerically, simple, what? Take the table and put it in Excel and go, get it, Excel, get it? Bad joke, wasn't it? Anyway, and then do the analytical work, the spreadsheet work, okay? Because frankly, the expression builder is just, to me, it's a nightmare. I don't like to use it. Now, we're continuing on over here in chapter 10. I'm over on page 378. And here I'm going to, what am I going to do? I'm going to list the numbers of multiples of 3 between 50 and 250. To do this, begin a table of numbers. So they give us access step 1. This will be 10-8 step 1. So let's take a look at 10-8 step 1. Here we are. Now we're going to select N, and we're going to take 3 times N, and we're going to use a column alias as a multiple of 3, okay, from the numbers 0 to 99 table. That's that table of constants, okay. So I'm going to click Control C, and I'm going to click Create, Query Design, SQL. Isn't that fun? And we'll click Run, little buddy, Run. And there it is, multiples of 3 between 1 and 250. Now, you say, whoa, wait a minute, this looks like a jumbled mess. And you're right, my friends, it is. So let's go back into the design view. And this will be, I'm going to call this, I'll go in the design view, and we want to sort these numbers in ascending order. And let's see what we get. Isn't that pretty? Look how smart we are. We put them in ascending order, meaning 0 on down, and we got the multiples. Now, you said, what possible use could I have to do this? Well, okay, I might want to maybe look at some possible, I might look at price extensions. I might want to look at a pattern of data. I might want to say, instead of, let's use N and a multiple of 1.8 or now, or let's say I'm in finance and I want to use N and then use multiples of the eigenvalue. Aha! See, you didn't know I knew about the eigenvalue. Did you, finance students? But yes, I do. Yes, I do. I'm pointing my finger right at you. I could see it. The eigenvalue. And I could run multiples times that eigenvalue as I'm doing some computational work in pricing, or an options pricing. Aha, you didn't know, huh? There you go. One way I might do that would be to work circumferences. Any one of a number of applications, but again, you've seen it, we've done it. It's good for your brain. It's better to do something like this than just sit and watch, monkeys on YouTube, throw bananas at each other, some craziness like that. I understand that's much. You may believe that's more fun. It's not good for you. It's mushy on your brain. How do I know? I've watched the monkeys. They're not that funny. I'm more funny than the monkeys, although they're smarter than me. Now, there is something for you to think about. Well, let's go ahead and continue on. And over in 10 number, now we're going to do 10.9. You said, as I mentioned, I'm doing snippets because of the processing time on this jewel. And I'm going to click Control. Up. I better go back into the editing and undo that. I'm going to go Control C and copy that. Now, before I run that code, let's look at it. We're going to select N as a prime number. And again, we're using the table of constants, okay? The 0 to 99, where N is greater than 10. And here we're using the mod, remember? Mod. I'm not talking about the series called Mod. I'm not talking Mod, who was in all my, TV. Mod, M-O-D. Next time you're at home and someone says, would you like some pie? Say, yes, I'd like pie a la mod, which means pie without the ice cream. But you foolishly should say, you should intelligently say, yes, I want pie with ice cream. So I want pie a la mode, which is M-O-D-E, ice cream on my pie. If you don't like pie and you don't like ice cream, let me say this. There is something definitely wrong with you. But isn't this fun? I think it is. All righty, so we've got the code. We're going to select where N is greater than 10, and we're going to order them by N. So we got the code, and again, we're working with patterns and sequences of numbers. That last one we did, we're going to say that was 10.8, 10-8. This one's going to be 10-9. So I'm going to click Create, Query Design, Close, SQL. I'm an SQL view, get that out. And now I'm ready. I'll run, little buddy, run. And there we are, the prime numbers. Voila. And what is a prime number? He said, I don't know, Dr. Harmon. I understand, but you have in front of you right now the world's greatest database, and you should find out what a prime number is. If I ain't mistaken, I think that our prime number is a number that can only be divided by itself. I believe that's true. I'm looking at these numbers and that's what I'm seeing. I don't know about you. Anyway, the numbers that bother me the most are odd numbers. They scare me. Odd numbers are a little creepy, little creepy. Oh, that's not true. But we've run. So now look. The remainder of chapter 10, where we list all the days of the week. And this is the bottom of page 381, okay? They're going to create a table, 10 constants, you can begin a date, and then we're going to insert values into that, starting with February 21st. February 24th, they show that, and it shows you the beginning date. Look. Create the table using the graphic user interface, i.e. the GUI. Then begin to input the dates if you want, all right? And the nice thing, I guess, they give you a series of dates. Oh, with some beginning dates where the digits less than 7, and that takes you all the way from the 24th of February to the 2nd of March. And why? Okay, good for you. But again, this is to just show us that we can do some work here with dates and work with beginning date and then add a digit. We're going to use, I'm in the middle of page 382. Look, okay, step 1 and step 2 is enter the following query, and then we create the, select the, we're going to use the CDate function, begin the date plus the digit as days. And the CDATE, C-D-A-T-E, that function, I want you to go look it up and find out what it means. There's all kinds of tables of information about the CDATE. And there's a thing in your book, it's an incredible invention. It's called an index. Try it. It's just like a database. It's amazing. Okay. Page 383, they show you 85 different ways. This top of page 383 is list the days formatted in 3 ways. As a full day, as an abbreviated day. Okay, the whole point's about the formatting, and you can see I'm wondering if this is really all that wonderful view. At the bottom of page 384, they have us. We're going to create a table of constants, and you ought to have your book with you. And this one is 1011 step 1. So let me pop down here to 1011 step 1. Create a table of constants. We're going to create a table, and it's called SEC, section 1011 underscore boundaries, right here. That's right. You see, I'm up here in my office. It's Thursday night, the night before spring break. Where are you? Well, you're in class. Maybe, maybe not. No, you're not. You should be, but you're not. Anyway. We're going to start date time. Start date is the column. Date and time is the format, and then end date and time. So we're going to do this. So we're going to create ourselves a table of constants. Tables of constants are fantastic things because we can just do all kinds of things with them. Now this other one before, I'm going to save that as 10.9. I can't remember if it was or not, but hey, we're good. Now we click create, query design, and you are in class. That's the cool part. And click run. Run, little buddy, run. Now I want you to notice something. If you see up here, you're going to see the data definition. Now let me try something here as I'm kind of playing around with this here. And I wanted to do this animational thing. There we go. Now I'm going to do, folks, is I'm going to spotlight my mouse. I'm going to spotlight the mouse. There it is. Look at, is that incredible or what? Look at that mouse. Look at that jewel. I've spotlighted the mouse. Now, unfortunately, it obscures what I'm doing, but it looks cool. But notice right here, data definition, because we created a table. Right? Now, we're going to call this, we're going to save it as 1011. And I guess we'll call it, it's going to be 10. This query is going to be called 1011. Okay. Now, the second step, and again, this is at page 385 in the Patrick text, is, and I don't think there's anything necessary to walk you through this. I'm just going to, well, let's look at it. Why am I doing this? I'm making this much more difficult. First of all, they want you to insert these values in, which is wonderful. Now, again, we've talked about this before. If you're going to be inserting data into a table, get a form and create a form to put the data in. Or have the data ready to dump, say, out of another source, maybe, but don't sit and type insert queries. I mean, you wouldn't, okay? But they want to show you how it's done. Now, in step 2, and this is where we are, we're going to create a table containing all the consecutive days. So here's the CDate function again. Our start date plus end is day 1. And so we'll go ahead and we'll highlight, I'm sorry, we'll highlight all that. Isn't that cool? I love that little thing. Isn't that cool? Okay. This is a new toy and you're the victims. This is like getting a toy at Christmas, isn't it? And I'm going to click create. Actually, it's not like getting a toy at Christmas. It's probably for you quite tedious, but I don't care. When have I ever cared? All right, but you're probably at home. Who knows? You're probably at home. Some of you sinners are drinking Dos Equis. I know you are. I see you. I'm looking through. The CIA showed me how to hack through and see and listen to your computer. I'm teasing. Let's run this, Jill. And it says you're about to paste 0 rows in a new table. So we're creating a table with columns. We don't have any data. Okay. So we created the table. Now, we could go ahead and input all the data in there if we want to. So that just walks you through those processes. Now, I've been going on here for about 20 or 30 minutes, so I'm going to stop this recording for a very simple reason. Okay? And shut down SQL Fun because it takes a while for the, we'll see how it processes, and I'll be sending you a link. Hopefully the first one worked and you could play it like a recording and all of that. The wonderful part about this is you're going to have an opportunity for the first time when you're tired of listening to me, put it on mute and just watch. You'll still learn. Or you could play it back when you hear some of my greatest and most pithy comments. Hey, it doesn't get better than this. Okay? We're learning, we're on the internet, we're looking at queries. You're sitting in your pajamas, you're at the pool. I don't know what you're doing. And you're learning. Or you can be, you can replay this. You could be sitting in a classroom. I think what I'd like to do is to make you go to chapel and sit in the chapel and listen to this. That's just my thoughts. Okay. What can I say? Anyway, my friends, I'm going to stop this here recording. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to end the meeting. And away we go. Thank you so much for your time, sincerely. And we're still working through chapter 10, playing around with it, and doing some snippets of code. And as I mentioned before, again, remember, it takes a while for this to process. So I'm going to try to build this up to the point where I get to an hour meeting or something like that, or an hour video, and then send it. Now, during the semester, okay, I'm going to try to schedule a plenary session where we actually have a live meeting. Okay. And so we'll see what happens with that, but I don't bank on it, bank more on the recordings just to see how this kind of works. Okay. Thank you, my friends. I hope you're having a great break, and thank you for being a guinea pig with this new toy. It's really not a toy. It's just something I got to do and make it more convenient and accessible. But frankly, if I can get a lot of these recorded, you'll be happy, because then you'll have something to go back and take a look at. Okay? Take care. Bye-bye.